to the Working Money Podcast, the show where we talk about the best ways for you to use your money. We have business owners and entrepreneurs as guests on our show. We ask them about the startups, their ups and downs of having a business, and the ultimate rewards. We also ask about their views, perspectives, advice for the new entrepreneur starting out. And now your host, Michelle Wong, and
co-host Willie Morales.
We have a great guest. His name is Shane de Garay. This guy's an entrepreneur.
Motivation.
We talked with him yesterday, today. This guy got energy times squared. Dude, you're the man.
Hey, I appreciate it, and you guys can put your hand up or something to interrupt me because, I just go with whatever's on me right now. Like I tell people, it's clarity, it's focus, it's purpose, and all that comes from self-love. Like I say the same stuff. I tell people, I don't know how people listen to me because I'm so boring. I say the same stuff, and I'm a copycat, right? I'm not an innovator, but I'm an executor, right? And there's my difference, right? Is I execute. Even though I execute most things wrong, I'm in the game.
But you take a risk, though.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But when I tell people you take a risk, like I'm trying to eliminate some of what I believe is bricks of like, I can't get there, right? Because I say this, hey, no one's going to take me to where I want to go. That's a fact. The pain of anxiety, depression, and beating myself up, that pain's the same as moving forward.
Right. But Shane, what separates, entrepreneurs, let's say like us and you, from others that don't take that risk? What is it about them? Are they afraid to take a risk, or are they letting people talk them out of it? Because that happened to me one time where I had a regular 9-to-5 job, and I was I needed a change of scenery, so I became a real estate agent, and this was in 2008. And I had people tell me you shouldn't do it. If I was you, I'll stay where you are now. The safe 9-to-5. But you know what, Shane? I did it for 7 months, even though I went back to a 9-to-5. But those 7 months taught me, like, hey, you know what? I could do this without having that fear.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And listen, everything you said is 100% accurate. The difference between, and even the word entrepreneur to me is just like, it's like vanilla now, right? Because it's people that figure it out. People that figure it out and people that don't. The people that figure it out, people label them entrepreneurs. Just like the word success is a false, to me, is a false mirage, because it's a state of mind. Like, we need to educate people that listen up. Rent's paid every day, homie. Every time you think they got it, I deserve it. All that is energy, because we trip on the fact that we think we have a completion society. And listen, I was in those same boats because I was listening to the 85, and I was the 15, the 10, the 5, and now the 1%. And that climb, people are ripping you down. But the funny thing is when you get up there, they're all willing to help you because of one reason, homie. If anyone's watching, it's because you took action and you showed them that you believed in your dream. Too many people want someone else to believe in their dream, and they want them to work. Everybody's got ideas. I used to go to town meetings around here. I'm the man. I go and make stuff happen in my town. I'm putting together a community group that's all people that want to do it for free. Right? So the only thing is, if you go to a meeting and you want to lose your flame, go around the 85%, because listen, just what you said, people told you, and I could write you a book on why they do it, right? They're tired, they're scared, and if you do it, you're on them. So if I can convince you to stay in the mud hole with me, then bro, we're good. I'm used to you saying I like you going to the bar with you. I like you complaining. I like you telling me you can't pay your bills, right?
Right.
That you're not getting there and I'm not getting there, and we're waiting to turn 65. And then we're supposed to go do something when we're not healthy enough, right? Sometime I'm going to party like crap, the Ferrari, right? So I'm going to drink, I'm going to smoke, I'm going to go to bars, I'm going to do drugs, I'm going to do all these activities that make me feel worse, because I watched television. So I shut the television.
Yeah.
I went to YouTube. I did my mentors, and I had nothing else going on. So I said, Shane, dude, you try all kinds of other ridiculous things that are the most boneheaded things. So if that's what fooled you, be a bonehead and try it, right? And then people are like, Shane, how'd you get in shape? Well, let's see. I exercise every day. I didn't do 4 miles yet, but guess what? My haters, even if I make them up in my mind, I don't care. Like Howard Stern says, I need them, right? I love my haters. I learned to need them so bad, like, because I'm going to show them that they were wrong about Shane. Shane's awesome because my daddy's the best, and my daddy made Buddha. You got the university. Listen, you have to have some purpose and some will and some inner thing. This is what I tell people. Like your gut, you can call it what you want. It's called the good and the bad, right? The selfish and the giving. You can label it whatever you want, but inside, when it feels good, you get pixie dust inside of your soul, right? And when you do something you shouldn't have, you get darkness inside of you, right? And sometimes you take it out on other people with anger and all. I mean, I did it all. That's me. Listen, I'm Captain Failure. That's the other thing, homie. Listen, if you're not ready to fail, listen, anybody up and successful. If I said you can get the check, you can get the house, you can get the car, you can get the 4-minute mile. Yo, homie, failure is where the payday is. When you don't want to do it, commitment, obedience to yourself. That's the thing. It's all to you. You see, you think looking at it like these things, there's no 30-day diet. There's no magic pill. There's no silver bullet for business. You get a purpose, you have a passion, and you're persistent. And homie, it's got to be built for life.
Wow.
Because what else are you going to do? If you switch this and switch that for life. I kicked my cars out of my garage. I put chalkboard paint up. I went and bought chalk, and I'm an artist of the mind every night. I don't even have anything up here, and I'll have a show at 11 o'clock, and I'll fill 3 chalkboards.
Wow.
Because I'm following what's, and one more thing, and I'll let you ask me another question. I'll tell people real easy. I never said, simple, not easy, right? They confuse simple with easy. This is where you get your vision, right? And then you write your vision down, you get your picture, you make a picture of all your stuff, and then you got to cut off communication, homie. You got to do like Cortez says and burn the ship. You don't communicate anymore. Everything else is heart and gut, heart and gut, heart and gut. That's it. If you listen to this, once you get the vision, it's guaranteed failure. And listen, don't tell me about a business plan. I don't care, because I never had a plan. I said I'm sick and tired, and I went in and did it, period.
Shane, give us a little bit of a background, how you went from where you were at that point to getting to where you are now.
It's 100% mindset. You take the same thing, you flip it, right? That's yin and yang, right? Instead of being bitter, I became better. Instead of trying to get even, I got ahead, right? Because I stopped the outside. I was the problem. I am the solution. And the things that cause us pain when we look back and we become a giver in the world, then we say, I don't want someone else to experience that. If I failed 3 grades, you expect to have a good community. You let this young boy, and it happened to a lot of people, go out into the world at 16 years old and say, have a nice day. We're done with you. You're not going to interfere with us pushing 80% through school. So then I always was like a kid. I still am today. If someone makes fun of me, I have to ask my wife, truth. I'll be like, honey, are they making fun of me? Or are they liking what I'm saying? I still do it to this day. But now I found that's my gift, right? Because I can't see stopping. If I feel something, I do it. People say, Shane, you're such a kid. And I am. I'm irresponsible. I have 4 kids.
Society has a stigma that they give people without really getting to know that person. And I've noticed that the people that come from modest and humble backgrounds are the ones that are really setting the example for everybody else.
Yeah, they seem to appreciate where they came from, like you do, or Michelle or I.
Listen, you're going to get people that are come at the weirdest angles at you that you never thought were hating you. Listen, you better be looking at your boat, because if people are putting holes in it, homie, and you're not throwing them out, that's your fault, right? Because you need to rewire. You spend all this time rewiring your computers and all this. Homie, you got to rewire your thinking to be the 1%. It's not easy. It takes time. I told my family, listen, I only have one. I said, I'm getting you off Facebook. I got on Facebook, and I'm a very deep thinker, right? I'm a revolutionary mind thinker. That's where I am an artist. And I said, when I first got on Facebook, it was to play Mafia Wars. Then it was people from high school. And then I was like, wow, now I got these people on, and there's all this chat activity like high school. So I revamped it, and people didn't like me. I don't really hang out with people because, listen, I never shut down, and I can't help it. You know, mistakes cut you. People hating on you cut you. That's the stuff you remember. You don't remember the victory. If you don't, and here's the other thing about your goals, homie. You know, I say that to people, homie. I'm just a punk, right? You can't be soft. I mean, there's so many misconceptions. That's why I'm the king alive on social media, because I don't want people to have a misconception like I did. I want them to know. I used to think entrepreneurs were greedy once they looked like they were successful. No, it's they remember where they came from, homie, and they're not going back. And they love what they do, that they wouldn't do anything else. There's no such thing as retirement. You know, it's you get to do other things. Like I get to do all these things because I've worked 10 years in this insurance agency, right? So people look at me and I'm like, homie, I got 9,000 people to get yes to me. So let me ask you this question, homie. I know you'll take my 3,000 clients, but are you willing to take 9,000 people telling you no, knocking on doors old school? Because that's how I did it and do it every day.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how did you get into the business and the field that you're in now? What made you...
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Always, and there's a lesson real quick, and I'm going to say is, you know, it's not sad, people, that you prepare and never get an opportunity. What's sad is that you never prepare and it passes you by. My wife got a phone call, and I don't like, and she goes, listen, we have 15 minutes to decide if we want to go on a cruise to Bermuda. Jump at that, but not me. And so I didn't want to hurt her. So I'm like, all right, let's go. So all these people, it's an insurance trip. And they're like, yo, tell your husband to come down to the meeting. And you know me, I'm like, yo, go tell them to blank themselves, right? Because I'm not part of your little group, right? So I've always been in sales. So I'm chilling out. And then they have this VIP dinner, and they didn't invite me. If they liked me so much, they should have brought me that special dinner. We're getting the 8 o'clock dinner, the last dinner available. So we were at the bottom of the list, right, on this trip that she got. So I ended up becoming one of the top brokers. Years later, right, 3-4 years later, I put my insurance through their brokerage firm, and I'm in their top 5. And it's only me and my wife and me and one other agent, and we're in the top 10 in their, and it's only 2 people. We're talking with brokerage firms with 100 people. It's easy though, because 20%, actually 10% do the work that the other 90 don't. It's not a secret, right? And it's lifestyle, like other people think, because I never chased the money. Like I had to be here for my daughters. I took them to the bus stop every day, their whole life. And whenever it rained, they called me every day. See, I never had a dad, right? So instead of saying I don't know how to have a dad, right? The other night we're downstairs in the basement, and they said, Dad, we were yelling mom because they don't have a mom, right? So they hear people say that word. People don't think at levels. And so they were yelling mom to hear that word because they don't say it. That breaks my heart, makes me want to cry. So they were yelling mom in the basement, right, when no one was there. And they said, Dad, you should yell dad because you don't have a dad. And say father, right? So it's not hard to be grateful, people, man. You just have to think a little bit deeper than you are and put the TV down, right? And it's easy to say, you know what? I have a lot to be grateful for. I have a lot to be thankful for. And you've made it through everything. It's time to let your past be your past. You made it through there. You're holding it like this badge of I can't be successful because this is because of this. Yo, homie, you've been way past it. Get over it, get up, and move on. It's a free ride. No one gets, even if you're a trust fund baby and you have all the money, you don't know what that's like. How do you know that their parents are around? How do you know that they don't have pressures? Like everyone has demons and they're all in their mind.
Right.
And no one has it easy, man. And just that thinking is wrong.
Am I going to move forward, or am I going to just sit back and say, well, you know what? Life got the best of me. If some people wanted to do it, they could do it. In other words, what's their why? Why are you in this business? Why do you want to get out of the projects or something like that? And I think that's important to have your why and say, okay, you know what? I'm motivated to become better, to take care of my sister, my brother, my loved one. And I think if more people reacted to that, you wouldn't have what we have now, the struggle and And the poverty.
Yep, and I was there. What the revolution is about everyone can save themselves. You know what I mean? I'm a lifeguard. So that's my humanitarian mission, is to rescue the human race, one human at a time.
How is it that someone, let's say like you, just said, I'm going to do it? What did you have inside that some people don't?
When I knew I could one call close in a house, go to someone's house and sell an $80,000 basement, I'm like, dude, I'm the fucking man, right? I was like, yo, I sold this dentist this basement, right? And I knew how I did it. So when people see the way you are as a character, as an individual, they'll come to you.
I see. So you build up that reputation that people just say, hey, let's work with this guy. This guy knows what he's doing. He has integrity. Wow. Okay. That's amazing.
People say, Shane, what do you do? I don't tell them. Like, the only reason I mention it once in a while is because people ask me to mention it. You don't see me sitting there being an infomercial. That's so generic and ridiculous. People want to know now, who are you as a person? And what my gift is I love hearing your story. Tell me about you, what you did. But that's what I love. Why my business is successful? Well, my wife, number one, right. Because she's the awesome sauce. You need to take care of that other half, whoever that is for you. If it's just you, with your puppy, and you're not taking care of your puppy and your puppy loves you. I mean, I'm serious. Whether it's your mom, you live with your mom, you live with your aunt, you live with your sister, your brother, you need to take care of the one that's helping nurture you through what you're going. And that is 100.
Obviously, you just kind of like gave a whole bunch of good nuggets for our listeners, but overall, what advice would you give someone that is starting out?
Not only to know what you do, but one of the things that I really messed up on for a long time is I didn't know to shed certain people and activities, right?
No, I agree with you, Shane. I think that overall, when you get to that point that you want to, move ahead and you want to make it for yourself, you have to, you have to basically isolate yourself. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but isolate yourself from the negativity from other people or the bad habits that are around you, because it's so easy to be consumed by all of that, and it feeds into your soul and you don't have that fulfillment. So sometimes you do have to isolate yourself, and I completely understand on that.
You don't see me jet setting around. I mean, do your thing. But most entrepreneurs, like, I'll stay in the same clothes for days. I forgot to eat. And everyone does their thing. I'm just telling you. And you'll hear these entrepreneurs talk about the magic getting up at 5, getting up at 3. But they never tell you what time they go to bed. That irritates me, right? I was up till 3 and I got up at 7. With Snapchat, I'm showing people, like, I'm giving people the most unique look of entrepreneurship in the world. There's no one that is on live more than me in the world. And that's crazy to say, right? But listen, I had an argument with my mom, and I'll tell you this. My mom said, you got to stop telling people you're the best. Like, you're just like, that don't even sound right. And I said, Mom, I love you. But you need to understand something. There's always the best, Mom. And I'm it. And no one's going to tell me any different. I work like I'm number 2, but I'm the best. And no one's going to ever, because there has to be the best, and you're looking at them. And I can't help it if you're not comfortable with that. But I'm the best.
That's wow. You Shane, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I think a lot of people don't take pride in what they do. And, like, you're not afraid to say, hey, I'm the best. I could do this. I could do that. You know what? Just give me that task and I'll kick ass and I'll get it done. I don't think a lot of people feel that way. They need to outsource this and let someone else do it. But it seems like you're like, hey, I'll get in that dirt and I'll do it.
Yeah, people get mad at me. Listen, they when I started this, right, and it's because people are afraid of failing. I'm a bumper car dude. I crash everything. I get tickled if I get success. Right? I'm like, yo, look what happened.
Right.
If someone says something good about me, I take a picture and show my wife. I'm like, listen, like I'm like a little kid, because I'm not looking for success. Like, I already know the road I'm on, right? Like, I'm in the woods, bro. I'm not going down the fucking concrete. I'm not going down a paved road, mud. I'm in the mountains. I'm in the swamp. Dude, I'm making stuff happen. I'm creation. And I'm moving in the direction of my compass. And whenever someone drags me off down their little private lane, I'm like, yo, 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 yo. And I get back on the Shane highway. Because that happens every day. Distractions, right? But I say, yo, dude, the dream. But if you stand there and let them keep hitting you, that's your fault. See, everyone's self-made. Only the successful people are willing to admit it. You know, I tell people, here's a great one. And please play along with this game. The top 3 people that let you down in your life.
Okay, I'll do it right now. I say my dad, he wasn't around. One of my best friends who we wanted to start a business with, he didn't do his share. And an old girlfriend that didn't support me getting into real estate.
And you?
To a certain extent, it was my mom. She wasn't too supportive in the beginning, but now that she sees that, you know, this is what I love to do.
Everything you just told me is all bullshit. But when you're ready for the real answer, let me know.
All right, what is the real answer, Shane?
You, homie. We all let ourselves down. There's nobody else. There is nobody else. Because listen, if you ever allow yourself for 1 second to think that, then guess what? Now you don't have control of the solution, do you?
You're right. You're right.
Guess what the yang is to that?
We're using those people as excuses.
You're the solution, but you are the problem. You need to get to that point. You are 100% the reason you're not where you want to be, and you can also take yourself to wherever you want to go. And success, you got to pay rent every day. People trip.
There was this guy who I followed. His name is Jim Rohn, Rohn.
Oh, love him.
Yeah, and I think his mentor asked him, why up to now you haven't been successful? And Jim Rohn said that he gave him a list of, he said the economy, his family, his the weather, the job. He gave him a list of like 10 or 15 things. And he said that his mentor looked at it and says, there's one problem, there's one thing wrong with your list. You ain't on it. And like, whoa, that was deep.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a whole thing I could explain to people why. Like, my artistry is in the mind. I understand why people do stuff and why they act the way they act. See, most people don't go to the 10th level why. I go to that, right?
Right.
Listen, we make decisions based on how do I avoid pain and gain pleasure.
So Shane, here at Work Your Money podcast, you know, entrepreneurs like yourself and Michelle and I, having someone like you on the show, to me, if people don't get motivated, then I don't know what else we could do, you know? So Shane, as we're about to wrap up the show, what book do you recommend? Like, what's like your favorite book, and what book are you reading now, or audio? What's on your reading table or on your menu? Because
I'm dyslexic. I have dyslexic of letters and dyslexia of the numbers. But I can tell you what, I've listened to audiobooks. Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Les Brown, Gary Vaynerchuk, Andy Frisella. You know, I listen to everything and anything in my realm, which is the mind.
Gotcha.
Because, listen, you got to know that you have a Ferrari, right? You have a Ferrari. What you got to do is find out what road you want to take your Ferrari down. It runs. You just got to figure out where to get it out on what road, and just get out there and run the roads, man.
Yeah. Hey, Shane, there's a book I like to recommend. I don't know if you read it, but it's called The Go-Giver. Since that's like coming out of your heart. I think it's from Bob Berg or something like that, or Bill Berg, but it's called The Go-Giver. And that's a real good book. I mean, it's basically about giving and sharing and not, and pretty much it's about just not expecting anything in return. Just you're giving, and whatever happens, happens.
I'm all about the laws of attraction.
So Shane, where can people find you? You have a website or Facebook?
No website. You know what's crazy is people come up to me, and when I told them, when you said about a website, you got to do what works for you, right?
Yeah.
I've never had a website. you can call me whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I'm living my dream. So call it successful, call it failure. Wife and my kids say I'm the man, I'm the man. If they say I'm mess, no one else matters after that. On Facebook, I do a show every night at 11 o'clock on Facebook Live called The 1% Show. You can find me on Blabs. We're doing a 1% jam session on BLAB.
Right.
I'm on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And it's Shane de Garay, I'm pretty easy to find. And thanks for having me. You guys are awesome.
All right. Shane, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Love you guys. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Anyway, this was Work Your Money podcast with
Michelle Long.
Willie
and-
Morales and Shane.
Yeah, Shane de Garay, Shane the Train.
Shane the Train. Yeah.
And he is a train that is unstoppable. He, as you can see, he went from,
0 to
someone-
100.
0 to 100, but he started from very humble beginnings, from a high school dropout to a very successful and still going strong entrepreneur, mentor, coach, and this is a prime example that anybody can do this.
Yeah.
And one of his passions is helping other people. So, for us, we wish everybody a good evening. Until the next time, we're going to continue sending out more interviews and having more guests and have more Q&As.
Yeah, you can find us on workyourmoney.net.
Facebook is Work Your Money.
Right, and on iTunes is Work Your Money. Please leave us a review. And we also want to thank our producer, Rob Schulte, who's going to probably do some editing on this for the audio version. Again, just look for us at workyourmoney.net. We're going to be having show notes for the past 4 or 5 shows. And good night, everyone. Michelle?
Yes, good night, everyone. Until the next time.
Bye.